and welcome back to Official Unfiltered Women Podcast. It is your host, Dee Dee. I am here with the ladies. As you can see, this is part two to motherhood. Today we are talking about breaking the cycles. We are
Yes,
talking
yes,
all about
yes.
breaking cycles and breaking generational cycles. So, guys, join us today with the ladies. I hope you all are tuned in because this is going to get really, really raw and unfiltered and uncut. So, ladies, when we think about breaking the cycles, who can be with me? Who's first? What do y'all think about what that means to you? Breaking generational cycles.
Okay, so with breaking the cycle, that means how you were raised and all the trauma and everything, you don't give it to your kid, any of your kids, because that will just honestly ruin them. So it's basically starting over from scratch, giving them love, courage, hugs, acknowledgement. Like, yeah. So how do you feel on that?
I think for me, breaking the cycles would be doing everything that my mother could not do. My mother was in survival mode for a lot of my life. She was a good financial provider, excuse
Mm-hmm.
me. And she kept a roof over our head. We never had our lights or anything turned off and anything like that, but she was not there for me emotionally. But her being raised by a mother she was raised, and I know my mother's story from her mother. I can understand why she didn't have the capacity to do that for me, but I want to do that for my children. So I try to pour into them a little bit more, so they won't
Yes.
have to go out and find someone to pour into them. I was lucky. I met a teacher, so she definitely poured into me. And as I got older, I always found women that was mother figures because
Oh,
I never
yeah.
had it. So I don't know if
I
anybody
can see
experienced
that.
that before, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
somewhat.
So a little bit of that. So what do you think, Cam? How do you feel about that?
I would just say, kind of to piggyback off of what you all said, basically just breaking it as far as like the cycles of what you had as a mother, maybe just doing things differently when it comes to your children. So just because you were raised a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that that's the same way that you have to raise your kids. There can be
Exactly.
differences if you feel like
Absolutely.
there's something different. Okay, sometimes you can look at like motherhood, maybe how your mother was, and say, I'll take from that something maybe I wouldn't necessarily want to do with my children, or maybe like with my mom, she was very strict. So I always said that when I have a child, there's certain things that maybe that she might have done with us that I don't necessarily agree with, that I will not be doing with my daughter. So
Yeah,
I just say
absolutely.
the difference is between your mother versus how you are as a mother.
Yeah, not saying that your mother, of course, is
Right. Of
bad or
course
they did
not.
anything wrong,
Yeah.
but, it's going to do a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do
Yeah.
you think, Dee Dee, about that?
Well, I think based on experience, as you all know, Alicia is my sister. Yes,
Boop
she
Yay,
boop.
yay,
is.
yay.
We came from, of course, the same mother, different dad background. And the reason I raised my eyebrow on that is because she did. I feel like Tisha was very blessed when it came to the dad background because she had a dad in her life that was there. He was active. Okay, see me. Okay, that's what he said. See me, because he was really a part of her life. He just wasn't in it, and he utilized every step of the teaching, raising her, being there for her. So when I think of my mom, she used the tools she had.
Yeah.
What I
Yeah.
feel is she felt like, well, we lacked items, things, purchases. We lack stuff like that. So the best thing to do for my kids is to make sure that they don't lack. So I'm going to keep giving and keep giving. So when it came to money, I mean, often I really questioned whether she was rich because I was like, well, dang, she can't give us the other side, but she is able to make sure that we have anything we want. We have everything we want. I remember one time, I don't know if you remember this, Alicia. I remember one time my mom, she was like, y'all get up right now. I ain't playing. Everybody get up out the bed. We
Yeah.
was tired, man. And I'm sorry, and Alicia was like, you mama mad because I said she don't sound mad. She mad because I want a bike. I said it's 10 o'clock at night. What you mean you want a bike? I just got up and said I want a bike.
Is this
What's
your?
so wrong with this? My mom was like, everybody get up and get dressed. We go and get Alicia her bike.
Okay.
This is
It
true.
was
10
10
points
o'clock
for
at
mama.
night, mind you. 10 o'clock at night, mind you. And
Walmart
it
24
was,
hours.
we went,
And that's where
exactly,
we
that's
went.
exactly where we
So
went.
Walmart.
10 o'clock at
We sure
night,
did.
guys, and went and got this baby a bike, okay? So when I say it was never about what she couldn't do. It was all about what she thought she needed to do.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of times our parents think that because where they lack that, they need to fulfill that. But
Yeah.
oftentimes where you lack that is not just the fulfillment that needs to be placed. It's actually just the love that you probably didn't get. But things mattered to her. She
Yes.
was serious about working. My mama would work two
Yeah, for
jobs,
sure.
yo. She would hold down two jobs and try to go to school.
Yes,
So
that's
when
true.
I say my mother was like brilliant,
A superwoman.
in a sense, and she
For
was the
sure.
kind of mother that felt like, I'm sorry I ain't hug you today, but that wasn't more important because you got that food on your table.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I know
Clock
I
it.
ain't say I love you today, but then you just get them new shoes on your on your
She's
feet.
a provider.
Yeah.
So that's the way she was, and I feel, ladies, like we suffer through that. We suffer through like our parents forgetting like it's just the small things for us, and we looking like, nah, we gonna give our kids the more. We gonna give our kids the best. We gonna make sure we say we love you every day. Cause I see you, Alisha, checking out her time. Like I love you. My kids gonna know. So she don't be playing that. She don't be playing that. So yeah, I understand breaking generational
Yeah.
cycles and things like that.
Yeah.
So what do that mean for y'all though? Like, do it shape and change the way y'all look?
One
at it?
thing you said that I did like, you said father figure. So it actually makes sense. Sometimes, yes, your grandmother did to your mom, yes, that will sabotage her. However, if she doesn't have a good support system,
Yeah.
like maybe a husband or somebody, just a partner in general, that plays a toll on her.
Yeah.
If she's doing
This
it
is
all
true.
by herself,
Yeah, absolutely.
then yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
survival
this is
mode,
true.
like you said.
Yeah, for sure.
So
And that's what
Yeah,
she
and I
was
think because she was emotionally unavailable. I think my mom never talked about her trauma, but I can imagine
that's true.
hearing her story. She must had a bunch of it and never ciphered through, never got the help that she needed. So she was overstimulated a lot of the time, and she just went away in her shell and didn't emote.
Yeah.
So that was hard for me growing up because being a young child, she,
Yeah.
was emotional sometimes. But when I got older, she was looking like, well, I'm done raising you. But I was like 15, 16. I wasn't done being raised.
exactly.
So, that was unfortunate. But, I always pay homage to my mother. I love her. No one can replace who she is. So
Absolutely.
that's it right there.
Heart mom, heart mom.
For sure. Yeah.
But what do
That's
y'all
real.
feel about when we speak of breaking cycles? Do you guys have anything to relate to, like what cycles do you feel like? And even you, audience, please drop a comment in the description box or comment section below. However you want to do it, let us know. Like, is it some things you feel like you've done with your children that you've broken those cycles on? So come on, be engaged with us. So I want to know, ladies, how do y'all feel about those cycles that y'all have seen that y'all have broken that maybe your parents did do and you wanted to do differently?
I would say for me, not necessarily, but just like my mother, even like she was saying, father figures as well. There are things maybe like with my dad, maybe growing up, things like that, that I feel like with my daughter, I always say that I want her to have, like, I always took pride when I have a child. I really want to make sure she has a really, really good dad, which she really does, and he loves her more than anything, and that makes
Absolutely.
me so happy.
Yes.
Like, we always constantly telling our daughter how much we love her, because I don't ever want her to ever feel less than or ever
Yeah.
even have to question
Yeah.
how much we genuinely do love her. So I think
Yeah.
in that sense, I always try to give her the world. Like, I really, really do take pride in that.
Definitely.
I love
Yeah.
that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think for me it would be communication. I want to have an open communication with my daughter, even when it comes to like boys. Recently, she took a family life, so of course the sex talk, and any crushes she may have, I would want her to come to me as her mother or her father, because she definitely have a relationship with him. She may not talk to him about boys yet, but she definitely
Not
comes to
ready
me. But I just want to be her person. I don't want her to go looking for who can pour into her and lead her in the right path. I should be her confidant and the person that she comes to. I'm her mother, and I should fill that space every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what do you think?
I would say
Sage?
definitely like one-on-one time, because
Absolutely.
I'm one of 9, so I never really got that one-on-one time with her, because she had to give attention to the other kids. So my oldest is 13 and youngest is 7 months. So I was actually able to give her that one-on-one time. We had a lot of one-on-one times. Brunches on Saturdays, movies, everything. I did everything I can with her.
I think that's a beautiful
Like,
thing.
Like, I never traveled. I just went to like 3 states. So we were able to go all up and down the East Coast.
Aw.
So, and she went to Disney World twice.
Oh,
and,
look at that.
I had to do everything I could for her. But I did one thing you don't do is don't overdo it, because I
Yeah.
felt like she was getting a little spoiled.
I got you.
And she
Don't they
expected
all?
more. Yes. Oh my gosh.
I actually agree with that.
And I feel like with my daughter, she's not 13 or 14 like their daughters are, but she's 5. But I do also feel like when she does get older, I kind of want to be the same as them. Feel like she can communicate with me. Like if I can't talk to anybody else, I want to make sure I can talk to my mom. And even though I can't be her friend, I have to still let her know what's right from wrong.
Yes.
I do want her to be able to have that open communication to say, if I can't talk to my mom, I can't talk to anybody. And my mom's there for me. She may not agree with everything I'm saying, but
This is
I
true.
know
Yes.
that she's there. I have to take pride into that. And that's
Yes.
something that, like I said, she's only 5, but I do want to implement
Right.
that when she gets older. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Even down to like the cycle talk. Like I didn't even have that. Like
Yeah.
I hid it from my mom for like 3 months. Like why are you hiding that for?
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel like I could open up.
Yeah.
Even for that.
I mean, when you bring that up, that is true. I know with me, I mean, I had other siblings, so I seen it. But with Anila, we made it her day. We took her out. I remember I called Dee Dee, and I was like, she got her cycle. We're going out. We got to have like a big girl growing into your own
I
type
love
of
that.
woman feel. Yeah, it was very special. We got, I forget what we got, but we definitely made a day of it. And it was all about
Celebrate her.
Yes. So she's coming into her young lady style. So it was definitely a thing. So yeah, that's very important.
Yes,
feel like
I
that's
just,
important.
I really think that this is a very good topic. I know a lot of people who are actually tuning in and watching are looking like, wow, I really couldn't talk about the dad that wasn't there. I couldn't talk about the mom that showed up but wasn't really showing up in the way I needed her. And when we're talking about mental health, that comes from being emotional, available for your children.
Yes.
And people don't realize that. When you get older, that mental health actually does reflect upon how you were treated and how you were raised, but more importantly, how you were loved. So I wonder, do we think we're doing enough for our children with the word love? I'm not talking about the material part of it. I'm talking about, like Cam was saying, telling them but also showing them. Do you feel like we're doing enough of that?
I feel like for me personally, yeah. I try to just have my actions also meet my words. Like, not only just telling her, but showing her what love is, you know. And also, I feel like when you're raising daughters and things like that, you want to show them what it's like as far as even when they get older. Like, this is how, like, basically how a model of how you should be accepted and what you should be, you know, how you should be treated. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree with Cam, but
Yeah.
I'm also going to be a little transparent here. I don't always get it right. I'm learning. I don't have a manual.
Yeah.
Some of the traits that I have to unlearn.
Yeah.
They're embedded in me somewhere. Some days I don't know where they're coming from, but my mother raised me, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it right.
Yeah.
I try to pour into her as much as I can. I don't always say I love her with the words, but I give her. So like my mother did me, so I have to remind myself of that. That's not always going to suffice. So yeah, that's what I'm saying about that. And moving on to Dee Dee.
Well, I'm gonna say something. So, with the love thing, telling her, yes, I tell her all the time, but her being a teenager now, she just like she don't even say it back no more. So it's like hurting my feelings a little bit. But yeah, showing, yeah, I definitely show her in all types of ways.
Yes, yes, and that's what's very, very important. I spoke on speaking on love because, like Alisha was saying, I can only give what I was given, right? And sometimes, in order to break, and that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about how to break those cycles that we know that we were once taught. See, regardless of how we treat our kids, because like I said, I'm auntie mom. I do not have any kids. I share Alicia's children
This is
and other siblings' children.
This is true.
So what I was saying is, with love is so important because sometimes you don't realize you're doing it. You don't realize you're not breaking a cycle. And then there's moments where you catch yourself and say, hold on, I remember how that felt when that was me. I remember how that felt when my mother did that. So let me go back in the room and regroup and let her know I do love her and give her a hug and tell her I understand why she feels that way. So that's really important sometimes to kind of look at yourself and say, hold on, my mama would have cussed me out too.
Exactly.
Hold on, I did not do that right. You know
my
what I'm saying?
gosh.
So, I mean, it's breaking cycles doesn't necessarily mean you get it right all the time. Breaking cycles doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to be perfect all the time.
Exactly.
But breaking cycles does mean that we are going to take accountability for the things that we need to change.
And I do
And that's
agree
how
with
it
that.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even when you don't want to say sorry. I know my upcoming 14-year-old, she reminds me that I'm wrong. I know some people are like, that's disrespectful, but when, your child is coming from a place of compassion and love herself,
Yes.
you have to sometimes sit back and listen. If you did something and you don't want to apologize as a parent, you have a problem. So sometimes I do get into like a kind of thing, me and her back and forth, and then she's like, Ma, you're wrong. And I have to take some time to think like, man, maybe I was wrong. So I do go back and apologize. That may not be at that moment, but I'd be like, dang, yeah, that was my fault. So just taking some type of accountability is very important, because we're humans too. We make mistakes, even if we're mothers. Before we were mothers, we were ourselves. So, you got to remember that.
And I feel like as mothers, sometimes we have to give ourselves grace because, like they were
Absolutely.
saying, motherhood or parenthood in general does not come with a manual. So
That's true.
I feel like as long as you care and you're trying, you are a good parent. Like,
Okay.
Exactly.
the fact that you even acknowledge that there are certain things that you can and want to change and even make a difference, I feel
love
like that makes a good parent. Because
Yep,
parents
I
who
love
don't
that.
care
That's true.
Exactly.
Yes.
speak for itself. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Oh, you can
Enough
see
said.
it. You'll see it on them.
But I actually do agree
Yeah.
with that because if you are not even taking accountability or don't care, because you got parents who be like, look, I feed them, I clothe them, I go to work, I don't care
That's
about
it.
what they're missing.
Yep.
And then, of course, that child grows up and then have to go and relay that to their own children. That's the unfortunate part about this
Yes, this
is
generational
true.
and breaking the cycle.
Yes.
And that's what we're talking about. How do we become accountable for ourselves? How do we become better parents for our children? How do we make sure we mold and take that accountability to do it differently? Because they're going to have kids that they have to raise.
They
The
do.
only reason why we're breaking it is so that they don't grow up with the mental health and issues that we've placed upon them from what we were placed upon. And then it goes generational to generational, generational.
Yeah, and
So,
also, I'm
yeah.
sorry to cut you off,
No,
my
you're
bad,
good.
but
No, go
yeah, because it just like sparked something in me. But also, getting the help that you need. For me, it's no secret. I was in therapy. I struggled with depression a long time, even as an adolescent, and I wouldn't want that for my child. But I do want her to get the help if she needs it and not be embarrassed about it. I mean, we live in a time where it's 2025. I'd rather my child get the help than no one listen or know how much she's hurting too.
Exactly.
So, therapy, sometimes is what you need at the time, and you should get it so you can get through it. So I do promote that all the way. Mental health is just number one in my book.
One-on-one.
Kind of to piggyback off of what she's saying, I feel like a lot of times people don't realize the way that we raising our children can also cause childhood trauma when they get older,
Exactly.
which
Yeah.
will cause them to have to actually go to therapy. So I always try to
This
keep
is
that in
true.
mind and take, not saying there's anything wrong with therapy at all, because I think therapy is like, because I've even been in therapy before, and I feel like it genuinely really does help as far
Yeah,
as
for
childhood
sure.
trauma. So
Right.
Yeah.
nothing against it at all. Mental health is serious, like she said, but yeah, I feel like certain generational curses can, or just the cycles can cause childhood trauma.
Absolutely.
Your
And this is
children.
where we're breaking it.
Yep.
And this is what we're doing, guys. We are giving you guys back something you maybe could not have explained or said.
Yes.
We are showing you guys what it looks like, humanly look like. Let me say that, right, ladies? What
Yes,
it humanly
yeah.
look like to be going through these kind of issues and cycles that we've had to break with our auntie mom, or Alisha with her children, and Sage and Cam. So they all are giving back feedback, but we want you guys to actually, when we say join in, let us know some things that you may have you didn't see at first and you wish you would have broke, or things that you realize that you broke generational curses. Just let us know in the comment section. Or if you want to talk about more things like this, let us know, because we're here for you guys, and this is the point of the podcast.
Yeah.
So ladies, is there anything that you can take away at this moment individually to give our audience out there, so we can pour back into our loved ones, back into our people that's watching, people who needed this today?
For me, I guess always lead with love. Always have an open heart. Just have moral and do what's right. I guess that's all. That's it. What do you guys think?
I would say communication. A lot of communication
Yeah.
and compassion. And it's okay to be wrong. It's okay. You can apologize to your kid. I know back then you could not. Stay in your child's, they need to stay in their place.
Right.
That's it. You can't say nothing, even if you're wrong.
Yeah,
So,
this is true.
Let's take it back.
Yep. As far as my takeaway, I would just kind of say, like what Dee Dee was saying, if you all feel like you want advice or just want to drop some comments, like she said, join the community with us. We're here for you all at all times. That's exactly what this podcast was made for, unfiltered women, and that's what we want to do. We want to be here for you all and give you an outlet to be able to express yourselves.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I'm so glad you guys tuned in with us. We are really, really grateful for all those who've actually watched part one. If you haven't watched part one already, please go tune in to part one so that you can come in and understand why we're at part two. Also, guys, my takeaway is love on purpose. Smile on purpose. Love your children on purpose. And when I say on purpose, it means like even if it's not something that was thought of and you just do it and it was purposeful meant. I don't care if they're in the bathroom, they're getting ready for school, whatever they're doing. I don't care if they're in a room and they're just playing with their dolls and their young age. Just go in there and hug them. And they may look at you a little funny if they high schoolers or something or grade school. And you say, and they say, Mom, why you do that? I did it because I was supposed to, because I love you, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
So just give back to your children, even when it feels like it's not necessary. They know sometimes, baby, they don't know. Again, guys, I thank you for tuning in to Official Unfiltered Women Podcast. I hope you enjoy this part two, and you guys have a great day on purpose. And ladies, let's tell them bye. Love you.
Bye.